Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we are going to be talking about the rise and fall of the Rakatan Infinite Empire. If you guys want to see daily Star Wars videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So in the past few episodes of Star Wars Timeline, we've talked about the Rakatan Empire and their invasion of Tython against the Jedi Order. Today we're going to go back to their rise and eventually their fall and give you all the information I can during that time period. If you guys want to watch the other Star Wars Timeline videos, I'll put them in the description below. They do overlap with this video in terms of the timeline, so I'll make sure to tell you guys when that happens. Let's go ahead and get started. The Rakata species originated from the planet Lehon, a tropical world in the unknown regions of space. The planet was in a vast, voided area of space known as the Tempered Wastes that protected them from outside threats. The Rakata, along with many other species, were enslaved by the Celestials during their reign over the galaxy. A slave revolt would occur and the Rakata would rise to power and overthrow the Celestials. According to the Grease species, the Rakata unleashed curses, which they refer to as the Eater of Worlds and Hollowers of Beings, to destroy the Celestials. By 33,600 BBY, the Celestials vanished from the galaxy and the Rakatan Empire took center stage. They would call themselves the Infinite Empire and would rule ruthlessly to ensure slavery would never return. The dark side of the Force was strong in their leaders. They would target planets that were rich in the Force and enslave their population. Around 37,000 BBY, the Kwa species arrived on Lehon through the use of their Infinity Gates. The Infinity Gate allowed them to travel anywhere in the galaxy to spread their religion. They would teach the Force to the Rakata and give them advanced technology. They had made a grave mistake after they realized the Rakata were a cannibalistic and cruel race. A war erupted on Lehon. The Kwa would defend and destroy the Infinity Gate to ensure the Rakata would not obtain unlimited power. Many would die, and the survivors would retreat to their home world of Dathomir. The Rakata would use their newfound knowledge and develop technology that allowed them to harness the fear and hatred within Force-sensitive beings. They would place these slaves into chambers within their ships and convert their emotions into energy to power their fleet. Even though the Kwa were able to stop the Rakata from gaining the power of the Infinity Gate, the damage had been done. They would construct an enormous space station known as the Starforge over the star Abo in the Lehon system. It would serve as a factory that created their ships and weapons and was powered by the dark side of the Force. At their height, they reigned over 500 Force-rich planets, which included Corellia, Coruscant, Hoth, Dantooine, and much more. Their hyperdrives could only lock on to Force-sensitive planets, which left voids throughout the galaxy, allowing other civilizations to flourish. The Infinite Empire would conquer the forest world of Kashyyyk around 35,000 BBY. They installed a terraforming computer to manipulate the Warshear trees. 2 years later, the computer would malfunction and cause a hyper-acceleration of the trees. Around 30,000 BBY, they would discover Dathomir, the homeworld of the Kwa. They brutally subjugated the world and sought revenge against them for the destruction of the Infinity Gates. As a result, the Kwa would eventually devolve into the Kui lizard species. Around 27,700 BBY, the Rakata would discover the planet of Korriban and the Sith species. The king of the Sith at the time was King Adus, and I did make an entire video on the story of King Adus, so I'll leave that in the description and at the end of the video. They would show Adus the advanced technology of a holocron, but the Sith King would not be fooled by his intentions. Adus and the Sith would go to war with the Rakata and drive them off Korriban, resulting in a rare defeat for the Infinite Empire. After their loss on Korriban, they would set their sights to the core worlds and invade the home of the humans. Coruscant would be conquered and the human race would be enslaved. But they would not stop there and continued pushing deep into the core. Eventually they would come across a planet radiating with Force energy, the most abundant they had ever seen. If only they knew who called the planet home. The Infinite Empire would attack Tython, the homeworld of the Jedi Order, and the Force Wars would begin. Now, I've already covered the Force Wars in episode 3 of the Timeline videos, so I'll leave that in the description and at the end of the video as well. The Jedi Order would be victorious, and what was left of the Infinite Empire would return to Lehon. A civil war would break out in 25,000 BBY amongst the leaders, and a slave revolt would soon follow. They were losing control of their planet, all while the Starforge began feeding off the Rakatan Masters, which further corrupted their empire. A few hundred years later, the Rakatan Infinite Empire would fall. A deadly plague spread rapidly throughout their species, causing a near extinction. A mutation in the disease caused the Rakata to lose their connection and power in the Force. Without the Force, they could no longer operate their technology, forcing them to use inferior technology, weakening their species even further. What was left of the Rakata would be driven underground, where they de-evolved into primitive tribal groups. The Elders, a faction who were descendants of the priests, recorded the history of their people, but it was mostly lost in time. Pieces of history from the Rakatan Infinite Empire would be rediscovered throughout time, but much is still unknown about one of the greatest empires in galactic history. With the fall of the Rakatan Infinite Empire, the Galactic Republic rose to power, and along with it, the Jedi Order. Now that is the story, the rise and the fall of the Infinite Empire. Like I said, I have done a few other videos that go more in depth about their wars. I did one about the Force Wars and King Adis, so make sure to check those videos out as well. Next week, we'll probably be talking about the rise of the Galactic Republic and the creation of the Jedi Order. That's most likely where we will go next. And yeah, let me know if you guys are enjoying this series, what you guys are looking forward to the most. And if you did enjoy the video, if you could go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me, as it helps spread the video out to other people that can hopefully enjoy it. And of course, if you want to see daily Star Wars videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Thank you for the support recently. We have gained, I think, like 20 subs in the past few days. It's been absolutely incredible, guys. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.